Hey everybody, Casey Transformed here again, and today I have the absolutely wonderful Transformers Generations Leader Class, Jetfire, or maybe also known as Skyfire. Now here he is in his vehicle mode, and isn't this just a beautiful jet? Oh my, just look at this thing. I'm just gonna hold up to the camera and let you get a good look at that jet. This screams Jetfire, G1 Jetfire all the way. He's got the vents, he's got the nose cone with the nice, classic style Autobot symbol. Got the cockpit, got the engines, got the kibble, of course. As you can see, it's just absolutely beautiful jet mode. It's just absolutely amazing looking. Let's see, we're gonna start with some of these details. Like I said, beautiful class, old school Autobot symbol. He's got these little silver guns here. I guess those would be machine guns, kind of nice little bit of firepower, even without his weapons attached. You can see there are some panel lines, but they're not too bad. They're actually pretty minimum, mostly because the robot's all under here. Let's see, he does have landing gear, of course. Little wheels. He has this one as well, which can be difficult to pull down, hence why I kind of just leave it like that. I can easily grab it. Let's see, what else is on here? He also has this down here, which is clearly the fake cockpit for the chest, and honestly it's not too bad, because for the most part you don't see it, and when you do, you could just pretend that's some kind of sensor. Like he's scanning everything. I have seen those on Jet, so it could be that. See, he also has the cockpit, which does actually open up and actually have little seats and all. Look at all that molded detail. This is just for the cockpit. All that detail. And this beautiful cockpit, it just looks so nice with the blue. It's just amazing what they did with this. Then of course there's the wings, which do extend in like the classics version where they look a little thin or they're not long enough. You can actually see part of it's actually hidden almost, and it actually looks kind of more realistic. I mean, just look at that when you have it spread wings. It just looks amazing. God, I kind of almost want to keep it in vehicle mode just because of how beautiful this looks. Not that the robot mode is bad, it's just amazing how good they got this vehicle mode. Just love looking at those wings move. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I know I already talked about it, but oh, come on, that Autobot symbol's beautiful. A lot of people are probably having a lot of nostalgia for that right there. And of course, we look under here with foot landing gear, and yeah, robot kibble. Honestly, I think he still pulls it off better than his classics Jetfire, where it's literally just a robot kind of scrunched up. At least here, it's clear that the parts had moved around. And it's literally not a robot, it's just kind of hiding under there. There are parts all rearranged. So there's a lot more transformation than it actually looks. Oh, actually got landing gear down easily. Then, of course, there's this more infamous part. His accessories. I like the look of these. I don't like the paint on them. You see, from what I've seen, it's the car version and the advertised or stock photos for this for the American version here as well did not have this weird chrome on it. It was actually more red, kind of like this, or more red, kind of like how this handle is here. It's not this ruby chrome that looks out of place. It's not bad looking per se. It just looks so random next to this red. I mean, if I put them side by side, it looks really weird. And you can see, well, he gets these, let's see, 2 of these kind of guns. There are his arm guns. 2 of these guns, these bigger cannons. What is clearly Jetfire's handgun from the G1 toy. And his thruster pack. Looks really cool. And yeah, he's got all kinds of accessories. There's a lot of things you can do with them, but from what I'm seeing, the basic one way you can do it is just, of course, fold these down to fit the thruster pack on. Much like the classics one, there's 2 clips here, 2 clip holes there. What's really cool is it actually has this in the middle to make it look like it's still part of the jet. Like it's not just something thrown on top. It actually is. It actually makes it look like it's actually interconnected with the jet because of that white there. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. Of course, there's these little peg holes on the side where you could just start adding the guns on. Let's see. I'm not going to do it fully because then it'll be a pain in the butt to take it back apart later, but as you can see, there's also peg holes on top of each of the guns, well, except for the handgun, but on the duplicates, there's holes at the top, so you can actually add on top. And you take this, and you could try to peg it in here on either side, or you can also peg it, or the official way is to peg it in the nose cone, which looks absolutely stupid. No, just don't do it. Just trust me, it's really dumb looking there. I kind of wish they had put a peg hole, like, since they do have this little part here in the middle, I wish they put a peg hole here, because I really like symmetry, and having it just off to the side like this kind of looks dumb. So basically, for storage, the only place the thruster pack can go is on the top there, but where else would you want it anyway? It also has a hinge on it so it can turn around, but that's probably more for the robot mode, so let's just keep it this way for now. You can fold up, like the classics way, you can fold up the fins back up a bit. Kind of have this like look like that. Now what you can do with these guns instead is the two big ones, the ones that have these gaps in them. The gaps are for the wheels. You can actually fit them over it, and the wheels landing gear can actually still be used because of those gaps. I'm trying to show this, but my camera doesn't zoom out very far. As you can see, the wheels can still poke through, still be used. The arm guns, these little ones, have two different places. You can go ahead and peg them into the arms if you want. You have underside guns. You could also peg them into the wings here. I don't care much for this look, mostly because, but you can do that if you so desire. It doesn't look too bad until you spread the wings, and it kind of just looks a little weird. So I prefer just keep them pegged into the arms. And in all honesty, I just don't display the handgun on the jet mode. I just tell it to go off to the side somewhere. Just go over there. Be good over there. Now, this chrome really just does not impress me. In all honesty, it almost looks like knockoff chrome. And it chips off really easily. I mean, first off, there's all this beautiful detail on all of this. I mean, look at those thrusters. You can see all this detail. Or I hope you can see it, because the freaking chrome makes it hard to see it. Which is one bad thing about it. And another thing, it chips off really easily. And you can see right there where it's the silver part of the chrome's poking through. And it's not just because of the gun ports where guns are constantly being moved back and forth. Even like say on the front here, you can see it's chipping. All over the chrome is already chipping off. I've only had this thing for about 2 weeks. A lot of the chrome's already chipping off. It's almost as bad as Beast Machine's chrome. Almost as bad. It just kills the detail. It really does remind me of what knockoff toys do when they have chrome. It really does remind me of that. So, I like the weapons themselves and the detail on them, and all the different ways you can combine them and use them. It just, some of this, the chrome itself is what kills it. I never thought I would say that, but it's ironic. Like the Takara version from what I'm seeing is not going to have any of this chrome. It's just going to be red with black paint. What we've been wanting. Instead, we have this. Seriously, Hasbro, the one time you actually use chrome and you mess up this bad? Also, there's sprue marks on some of these. As if you see right there, that little square there. Yeah, it almost looks like something you would get when you pull off a model kit from some sprues. It's weird. I don't get that. But overall, really great jet mode. Good accessories, just need a better paint job. Which I've seen some videos where you can actually pull off the chrome. I might do that myself. Well, let's get them transformed. I decided for all future videos, I'm just kind of going to pull a Thews off some reviews. If you've ever seen him, go subscribe to him now because he is awesome, of course. But in his videos, he never shows the transformation. He shows it, but he has it like sped up. And I think that's what I'm going to do as well. So, show you transformation, and I'll tell you about it. And there is Jetfire in his mighty, mighty robot mode. Now before we get to that, I need to mention one thing about this gun. This thing is trigger happy. I mean, it shoots out pretty far, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to lose the missile. And you can see, I've had times where I'm just trying to move it around and I accidentally touch the trigger. Like, not push on it, just touching it. See? There, I'm not even pushing on it. And if I were to drop this thing... Oh, look, the missile's gone. Gone forever. Wait, no. Okay. There it is. But you can see how easy it is to lose this missile. I've had it shoot across the room behind me. I've had it hit me in the face. And once again, there's actually some sprue mark there. What the heck, Hasbro? Anyway, I just wanted to complain about that. Let's get on to the figure itself. And my god, this is an amazing looking figure. First off, that head. That beautiful head. Oh my god, I love that head. Just look at it. It is mighty. It is definitely the fighter known as Jetfire. You don't want to mess with him when he looks like that. And of course, unlike the Classics one, it's actually a helmet. It's actually just a mask rather than a helmet. And you can see, that is definitely Skyfire. That is Skyfire all the way. Just look at that face. Just look, beautiful silver with a little bit of like gunmetal gray along the side to help stick it out a little more. And of course he has neck detail. He has neck detail. He has detail under where his head is connected to it. That's just awesome. And he has light piping, of course. He has crest piping actually. Oh, it looks so great. Just such amazing detail for. It's just such a great head. We've been waiting for a figure to look like this for years since he premiered on the show and back in the 1980s. And of course, he has his chest detail with the fake cockpit, and it's got nice silver mechanics in there. And one thing I could complain about is how the Autobot symbol's blotted out. It's actually probably pretty hard to see. He has a little bit of red and silver detail on the chest. You can see there and there. He's got the vents, of course, which are actually G1 accurate. His hips, he has this beautiful red here with the mechanics again. A little red dot there on the crotch. There's his hips, which have this beautiful, just amazing black detail all in there. All these little mechanical details, all just on those little hips. They're actually kind of blocked. It's amazing how much detail they put on him. I mean, just enough to break it up a bit, down to his feet. Even detail on the feet. On the arms, it's everywhere. There's just detail everywhere on him. And of course, he does not have ankle articulation, but his feet are sculpted to have a wide stance. So that's good. Also, nose cone pokes down to where it kind of almost looks like it's sticking out of his crotch, kind of like the G1 Jetfire toy did. Kind of looks cool. Lots of little G1 references all over him. Like I said, the vents. He, of course, has a little thruster detail on his shoulder, much like the Classics toy did. And for those who are wondering, in case you couldn't see in the video, his shoulders peg into his wings. So the wings are not posable in this mode. 1 second, I need to get some figures to compare him to. Alright, unfortunately I forgot to compare him in vehicle mode. But here he is next to Classics Jetfire. And yeah, there's quite a bit of height difference. Quite a bit taller. And a lot more Skyfire looking. I mean, there's Skyfire's head. Oh, let's go ahead and show that. Here's the helmet the Classics one had. Here's what the Generation has as a mask. This shows you how oversized this helmet is, because the mask for a later class, it's actually just slightly smaller than the helmet for Voyager. Which is why I like this mask better, because it doesn't make his head look so small. Also, much more G1 kind of head sculpt than this guy had. Oh, and I lost the mask. Oh, no, there it is, right there. Looks really cool with the little antenna. Alright, put your helmet back on and get back off to the side. Oh, you should probably also compare those thruster packs. Here's the Generations, here's the Classics. A lot more of a jet kind of look, because here he has like rocket boosters on the Classics one, while the Generations later class has more of a, what you expect to see on a jet. Looks more of a thruster pack than, you know, something he would launch with. This one doesn't have any gimmicks unlike the Classics one, but honestly, as long as it just looks cool. Let's see. Here he is next to the classics kind of, or, well, I guess this is technically Generation Standard Cracker, but it's using the classic Starscream mold. I don't have Starscream, which would be great to have, the classic Starscream, which would be great to have to compare to, but from what I've seen of the cartoon, if this was Starscream, this would be pretty close to accurate. Starscream was only about half of Jetfire's or Skyfire's height, so this is close enough to make me happy. And then, of course, if we really want Voyager Starscream, here he is next to the Galaxy Force one. Just to show you what older Voyager is compared to him, and yeah, he's still quite a bit taller. Quite a bit, yeah. Even going from here, he's still taller. Then, of course, I have a Generations figure. Here's Bumblebee. Little Bumblebee. Let's show him standing next to him. Bumblebee comes up to his head. Bumblebee's head comes to the bottom of his shin. That's how huge this figure is. He towers over Bumblebee. He can crush Bumblebee easily. Crush. Crush. Get out of here, Bumblebee. I still love Bumblebee, though. Alright. Once again, I'm going to put the mask back on. Just to show you that face again. The visor and the mouth plate look really good, especially this light piping still works with the mask on. Let's take it back off. And let's remove his weapons from his arm. If you had them all like how I had for transformation, they end up here on the side of his legs and on his arms, of course. So let's take a good look at that. Yes, much like his G1 cartoon model, he has the red along the side of his legs. Again, very cartoon accurate. The only thing is, without the weapons, he has these huge gaps. I mean, yeah, he has gaps here, but they're a bit more hidden. But here, they're unavoidable. Why put them here? I mean, granted, when you have the gun on, you don't see any gaps. But without the gun, if you're trying to make him look like Skyfire, especially since Skyfire is a scientist, he shouldn't have to have all these weapons. If for those of you who haven't watched the cartoon, Skyfire was a scientist who was best friends with Starscream until he joined the Autobots and betrayed the Decepticons. Oh, I just noticed that. There's wiring detail on the bottom of his wings here. Right in here, there's all these little wiring details. That's amazing. For all these faults, he does have a lot of great detail on him. I just forgot completely about the gaps because of that detail there, because it's so cool. Oh my god. I'm easily impressed. He is very solid and very cool. Another thing that kind of stinks, as he is a leader class, no lights or sounds. No voice box, no flashing lights, nothing. Not even on this big hunking thing that's just a hunk of plastic waiting to have electronics stuffed in it. It's kind of sad, really, what leader classes have become. Just a big chunk of plastic. I mean, I'm not saying he had to have lights and sounds, but considering his price of about $45, $47 actually, I think, kind of expected it. Oh well. There is also paint missing. Now, I don't mind the paint missing here, where he was supposed to have like the red stripe supposed to go all the way across his chest. I don't mind that so much, considering the red stripe in the cartoon only is in the middle. And he is missing red paint that's supposed to be here. That one bugged me quite a bit more because he could use a bit more color on his legs. Even though in the cartoon he was all white like this, but still. He could have used some more paint since he has barely any on his leg. It's just this. This is all the paint he has. All the drilled out plastic is what really bothers me. All here, all here. At least on the feet, they put all these little thruster details to make it look like he could take off in flight. That's a little more acceptable. All drilled out plastic. He's pretty hollow, and that also still makes him pretty light, which kind of stinks. But at the same time, I don't think he'll break as easily if you drop him or something. And the biggest thing that kind of sucks is his articulation. His articulation's great, but it'd be great if it was a Voyager kind of thing. What I mean is, well, like I said earlier, here's his neck. Turns all the way around. He looks up. This kind of bugs me, this whole thing where to swivel the neck, it doesn't look perfectly right, but I don't mind it too much. I kind of wish the turning joint was in here instead of at the base of his neck, but oh well. Ratchets. Beautiful ratchets. No ratchet here, but very stiff. Swivel. Ratchet in the elbow. I love that that ratchet. That's a beautiful ratchet. No hand articulation. I'm not expecting fingers, Hasbro, but at least give us a twisting hand, but we can't. We can twist the elbow, but we can't twist the hand. No waist, of course. Just listen to that ratchet for a moment. And it's ratchet both ways. This ratchet's not as loud, but it is a ratchet. Ratchet. Swivel, of course. And it's got that kind of swivel I like, where it kind of is a separate piece from the leg here. It kind of looks like his armor moving around his leg, his inner mechanics, which I really like that. I love this ratchet for some reason. I just love this ratchet joint right in here. And of course, he does have ankle articulation technically, because of how he transforms. And it's enough to get a couple poses. You can kind of get him a little more active looking. How's he stomping around, or he's staggered back or something? It's enough. You know, I kind of wish it was ball jointed, but it's enough to do with. Also, the things that bug me most is just the hand articulation, as in there is none. I wish there was. All I'm asking for is a swivel. I'm not even looking for fingers. I just want a swivel. But that's not going to happen. Overall, though, I really love this figure. I absolutely love having a figure of Skyfire that really, really looks like Skyfire. Oh, I know I messed up on this review because I forgot to compare him in vehicle mode, and these weapons are not the best. Oh, I guess I might as well show you the big gun mode. Basically, of course, these little ports on the side of the gun. And, of course, you can stack these on it. Take the bigger ones that were from the legs and just, you know, put them in. Put this in. Oh, and I still have the missile. Okay, I'm leaving the missile out because it's going to make me mad. As you can see, you put the leg guns on the side of the main gun, then you put the arm guns on the side of those, and you make this big, massive gun of destruction. Not very Skyfire-y, but for Jetfire, it works pretty well. Where's his mask? There's his mask. We're going to put his mask back on to show that he's Jetfire. And yeah, that looks pretty dang awesome. A little ridiculous, but awesome. Again, I think I would like this better if they just had chromed it. And I've seen people who actually remove all the chrome. It's red. It's the same, almost the exact same red as this color here. So literally, you could just dechrome this and put the black paint on yourself, because all you need to do is just take a paintbrush and just brush over the barrels. Why did Hasbro put all this stupid chrome on here? Why? And of course, there's this thruster pack, which can't do anything other than just sit on his back. But it looks cool there. Now there's this configuration where it's sticking straight up, or of course lower down the cone, twist around, fold the cone back up, just sits right in between there. And you can just have like a bunch of thrusters over his shoulders that look really cool. Especially for... Oh, and then one last thing. If you want to store the mask, you know, so that we don't lose it while he's in Skyfire mode, you can actually slide it onto here on his gun. Looks a little strange, but at least they give us a place to put it. Once again, this is basically Jetfire's gun from the G1 toy. And what I like to do is take the extra weapons, peg them onto the thruster pack. And if you remember the G1 Skyfire in the cartoon, always had his kind of red thruster thing on his back sticking straight up. This kind of emulates that. I think that's the best look for him. And of course, here, we'll put the missile in, since I'm probably not going to be touching that gun anymore. At least not for this review. So there he is. He looks really great. Really recommend him. Is he worth the $45? I would say so. He is a really cool figure. This is one of those things where Generations is just really, really impressing me. If this is any sign for what the later Megatron's going to be like, then it gets me really excited for that and future Generations figures. Well, this has been Casey Transformed. I hope you pick up Jetfire. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'm out of here. Have a good day.